YouTube. So I can see that Junior Dos Santos will be fighting Curtis Blayde sometimes in the future. Now, this is a very interesting fight to me because I've always told people that I felt that Curtis Blayde is going to be the future of the heavyweight division. I feel that Curtis Blayde has the tools to beat Stipe, but I feel like the only thing standing in his way is Francis. Now, with Francis being the next title contender after Stipe and DC3, and no matter what happens, DC will be retiring after this fight. I feel that Curtis Blayde might stand as a bigger chance to Stipe than Francis, despite him losing, because I feel as though, as far as raw power, you have to give it to Francis. I think it's safe to say that if Francis connects to anybody's shins, he's going to knock him out. But at that same time, Curtis Blayde has a whole arsenal of tools, and especially for a heavyweight fighter. He has wrestling, he has striking. He beat the hell out of Alistair Overeem. He seems to be improving with every single fight. The man is on like a, 2 or 3 fight win streak. I feel that Curtis Blayde has the tools, but this is definitely going to be a major step up for Curtis Blayde fighting a guy like Junior Dos Santos, who is a former champion and a longtime veteran of the sport, and has just done almost everything it is to do as a heavyweight. Like, when he first burst onto the scene, he was virtually unstoppable. His hands were unreal. Like, he looked like a professional boxer in MMA, and he was just damn near knocking out everybody. He beat the hell out of Mirko Cro Cop. He beat the hell out of Shane Carwin, which that was almost unheard of. He beat the shit out of fucking Cain Velasquez in her first fight, despite Cain having an injury. And, they went on to have probably one of the greatest trilogies in all of mixed martial arts history. And it's a shame that that's not talked about. But anyway, back to my point. My point is that Curtis Blayde is going to probably, this may be very well be Curtis Blayde's toughest test other than Francis, standing in the octagon against Junior Dos Santos. And with him being at number 3, this probably is a potential title eliminator. And I feel as though if he can find a way to dig deep and probably pressure JDS with his wrestling, and hopefully not let JDS land his big shots off, because I feel that JDS still has some dynamite in his hands, and I feel he can end any fight with a punch. But I feel that Curtis Blayde's best bet is to wrestle and pressure him for either 3 or 5 rounds, depending on wherever they're going to put this fight at, and that hopefully he'll be fighting for the title very soon. But that's only if he can get the W. Now, if Junior gets the W, I still just feel that he needs 2 or 3 more wins. Now, Junior, it's the heavyweight division. Anything can happen, 1 minute you're up, next minute you're down. Like, the heavyweight division in MMA is literally the wild card of all of divisions, because I wouldn't say it's very lackluster, but I will say most fights are very short. And not only that, the talent pool is very low. The best time where the talent pool was very high was probably about 2010, where you had guys like Brock Lesnar and Alistair Overeem when he was in Strikeforce, and you had a lot of crossover fights as far as professional wrestlers coming over to the Strikeforce area. Like, it was as even though they weren't the best fighters, it made it exciting because it made you want to watch it. But I feel as though with the heavyweight division now, it's probably about 3 or 4 significant faces, but I feel as though that can change hopefully sometimes in the future. I feel that if they do bring the Ultimate Fighter back, they should bring it on the heavyweight division, that or the flyweight division, and try to make it more exciting, or the female featherweight division, because they need some contenders. Like, I feel like certain divisions need certain fighters. If anything, I take it, the light heavyweight division needs the goddamn Ultimate Fighter, because there's nobody in that goddamn division. And one thing about the Ultimate Fighter, it will bring out the personality in certain fighters that make you want to attract and make you want to watch them even more. Because I can honestly say the best fighter from the Ultimate Fighter is probably more than likely Nate Diaz. And the reason people like Nate Diaz is because he has a rowdy style in which he's always on go. And I feel as though if fighters can bring more of that style and not more of the wacky kind of or trying too hard style, then they can attract fans. Like, I really felt like if Conor McGregor would have started on Ultimate Fighter, he probably would be bigger than what he is now. And that's a big statement, but I personally just feel that way. But anyway, man, let me know what you guys think in the comments section. I'm out. Peace.